What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be taking a look at Ceruledge EX and its Abyssal Flames attack for 30 damage for a single fire energy, and then this attack does 20 more damage for each energy in your discard pile. And this card is probably the strongest EX to come out of the newest set. It's an incredibly powerful card that I think is already performing pretty well, but is only going to get stronger as we figure out how to optimize this the best way possible. Right now, using the Brilliant Blender is kind of the most optimal way that everybody's kind of found to use it, where you can search your deck for up to 5 cards, discard them, and then shuffle your deck. You just use this to discard 5 energies, and then what you're looking to do on your first turn is just use the Carmine in order to discard your hand and draw 5 cards, where you're discarding as many energies as possible to get yourself set up. You're going to be using Squawkabilly to do the same thing, as well as Greninja, just to turbo through your deck as quickly as possible and get Ceruledge set up on your next turn. So going first, if you're able to do this and get like the playoff, you can go Ceruledge on your next turn and pretty much take over the game from there. It's a very, very powerful card. And then after that point, you're able to just completely disrupt your opponent, where you use Boss's Orders, or even things like the Judge to reset your opponent's hand, be a huge annoyance for them. We also have things like Pokemon Catcher to help be able to pick the matchups that we want and be able to knock out whatever we're kind of looking for, as well as Iron Bundle with the Hyper Blower ability, just to also, again, manipulate our opponent's board as much as we possibly can, power up Ceruledge as quickly as possible, and just start taking knockouts. This deck is incredibly powerful and pretty hyper aggro, so if you like playing a very fast-paced, like very strong deck that doesn't really have to wait a couple turns to like really get going, I would highly recommend this. There's definitely other lists that you could play of Ceruledge. If specifically, you can play it with like Palkia EX, or sorry, not Palkia EX, Palkia V-Star, and that's pretty strong as well, but personally, I feel like you don't really need the Palkia, and you can utilize that space for a lot of other cards and other options as well. We do play the Jet Energy. You could cut some of these if you want, but I just like having them as additional energies to be able to use, and then also as well as a way to move the Ceruledge into the active if our opponent attempts to like boss trap us or something like that in the later stages of the game. It's just kind of a nice extra out, as well as something else that could be discarded with the Radiant Greninja, specifically because of the fact that the Abyssal Flames attack does not specify that it needs to be basic energy or even that it needs to be fire energy, so the turbo energies work all the same for that. But yeah, that's going to be the list, guys. Be sure to let me know what you think of the list and any changes that you would make to it. If you want to try the list out for yourself, it's down in the description below, as well as a link to the community Discord if you're interested in joining that. I want to give a special shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for that. It does go a long way, and I really appreciate it. I'll definitely be doing some members exclusive content coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that as well. And because it was asked for in one of the previous videos, I'm going to give a special shout out to I believe it's Mr. Slippy is the tag. I could be getting that wrong. I'm not looking at it right this second. But they asked for a shout out in the comment section, so there you go. But yeah, that's just about everything. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in game number 1 in just a second. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1, and we're going to be going first. Ooh, they have the card sleeves from the event over the weekend. I wanted those, but I didn't get them because I was too busy to like watch the streams and stuff like that. Hopefully I can still get a code for them or something. So we'll go down and we'll go ahead and play the PokéStop down. We'll attach 1 energy and go Carmine. Draw ourselves a full new hand. We'll go Brilliant Blender from here. Go ahead and discard we'll do it like that. And from here we'll go PokéStop, hopefully hitting. Okay, that'll work, because we'll get rid of these. grab ourselves the other Squawkabilly. This is why we run 2. Place that down. Squawk again. Then from here, we can go Nest Ball. We do have the option to go Greninja if we want to. But what I'm actually going to do is go ahead and get an extra Charcadet. And the main reason for that is that we already have the Ceruledge in hand. And seeing Iron Hands makes me assume we're probably up against some sort of Miraidon matchup, which means they are going to be able to retreat this out. And probably have the ability to knock out our Charcadet or the Charcadet in the active. And if they're able to knock out the Charcadet and we went Greninja and weren't able to make a new one, then we're just like super behind. Is where we're going to be doing enough damage now that all we have to do is just pretty much get this into the active and we'll be good to go. We see Secret Box. Interesting. Are they playing like a Lost Zone then? No. Do Miraidon lists play Secret Box now? They could power this up, go Boss's Orders, knock out the Squawkabilly, take 3 prizes. That could be their play. But they went Arven already, so they can't do boss at least on this turn. Yeah, they want to set up the Magneton. They lose out on the Magneton, which is... That art is so cool. Which is good, because the decks pretty much only play like a 1-1 line. So as of right now, it's not that, like... They do need to find themselves the Rescue Stretcher in order to put this back. There's the generator. We'll see if they hit. Mathematically, okay, I was going to say, mathematically they should get 1, but they were able to get 2. Second electric generator, they miss. They can still attach 1 from hand, look for a switch cart, and go arm press. It's still a possible play. We know Boss's Orders is in hand. We don't know the other card, and they still have access to Sealstone. As of right now, it looks like we're fine. Odd that they played the rescue board down. Okay, so pretty good for us. I don't think they made the best choice they could have. We're going to go ahead and bump the stadium. We do hit for enough. We'll go ahead and go Pokemon Catcher here. If we're able to flip heads, unfortunately we don't. I was going to say being able to knock out the Raikou would be pretty good for us. We'll go ahead and Ultra Ball here, get rid of both of these in order to grab ourselves I think we go Iron Bundle here. Force them to swap. Actually, we'll hold off for 1 moment. Let's go ahead and PokéStop real quick. Yeah, we'll go Hyper Blower. Force them to swap. Go ahead and use the Abyssal Flame. We take 1 prize. Not super exciting. Get 1 more energy, not really what we want, but that's also okay. They have no access to Magneton. The Iron Hands in the active can't be really powered up that easily. Because it's not on the bench, so Electric Generator won't really help them. They do get a Nest Ball, but their Fezandipiti goes to the discard pile. That's pretty lucky for me. See a Mew, that's also not really that big of a deal. Because they can't draw anything as of right now. They could, like I said, boss up the Squawkabilly, manually attach an energy, go arm press, knock this out, take 2 prizes. But if they do that, they're like pretty much out of options. Charcadet with the Electric Generator. They can go Mew for 2 cards. We still know they have Boss's Orders in hand. They don't have access to the Area 0 Underdepth anymore because Pikachu is no longer in play. They do go double turbo, so they actually are able to get the Ampy very much for 2 prizes. Which is fine by us, to be honest. Like, yes, I'd like to keep the Charcadet, but as of right now, we're kind of in a fine position regardless. I think I'm going to go Earthen Vessel here, discard these. Add 1 more. And then from here, just go Judge. Reset my hand. We'll go ahead and PokéStop real quick. Okay, that's fine by me, because I can go Charcadet here. On the following turn, I can get myself the Ceruledge. Yeah. So I go Abyssal Flame here, knock this out. Means Raikou is their only, like, true attacker they can use. They can retreat into this. I think they've used, what, 3 generators already? So the odds of them being able to make Iron Hands EX for, like, an amp to knock out the Squawkabilly is pretty low. They do get 1 more. They'd have to hit double Electric Energy and then have a double turbo in hand. Because they can't search for it anymore. They go Tandem Unit, Electric Generator. Okay. 1 more energy onto that. They retreat this, go Raichu. It's going to cost all their energy to knock out the Ceruledge, though. And with no Electric Generators left in play, they'd want a Super Rod, what, like 3 energy back? Oh, the Magnetons. But that wouldn't matter, because you're not going to have enough time. Because you have to discard all the energy in order to knock me out. Goes down to 2 prizes. This is a situation where if we were playing the Blair or Briar or whatever it's called, that'd be really, really good for us. So what we can do here is just go Night Stretcher. Grab ourselves the Ceruledge. Place this down, and then our opponent can't really do anything from here. I don't believe. Place this down for later. Go ahead and grab the Nest Ball. Play Radiant Greninja. Again, we're not really worried about them getting access to anything. So we're kind of just digging for a boss's orders. We'll get rid of the Canceling Cologne. Then alright. Yeah, there's 2 bosses left in deck. So at this point, what we can do is go research. Guarantee the boss on the next turn at bare minimum. Kind of crazy, the only 2 cards left in our deck are the bosses we're looking for. But we can go Abyssal Flame here. Knock this out. Go down to 1 prize card remaining. And we have Jet Energy, so even if they do attempt to trap us or something like that, you know, we'll be able to put Ceruledge back in the active. There's no way to get into an Ampy very much on this turn, because they can't evolve into Magneton anyway. They shouldn't have a way to power up anything either, because they've used all 4 Electric Generator, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't have access to Prime Catcher. They could go like a Crispin maybe if they play a different energy. Like that's the only way they're gonna get 2 energy on board. But even then, if they use a supporter to power up any of their Pokemon, they're not gonna have the ability to pull up the Squawkabilly, so it is gonna be game over. Unless there's something I'm missing here. Rhydon got very strong with the new cards, but they would have wanted to keep the... Actually, them not having the Rescue Stretcher definitely hurt them. Because they would have wanted to keep this and go Rescue Stretcher later. Because if they had kept the Magneton... Alright, so this is also why, like, having the Night Stretcher and the Jet Energies and all that kind of stuff was also something that we wanted to make sure that we had. So that way we couldn't get boss trapped. We can go ahead and Abyssal Flame. And take the first, or, you know, final KO. Knocking out the Mew and ending the game. But yeah, so we wanted to just make sure that we couldn't really be boss trapped at the end of the game. Which was pretty important. And then, obviously, having boss for final hand is always good. Not in this case did it really matter, because we only had 1 prize card remaining anyway. I think our opponent would have been better off if they had Rescue Stretcher in deck. Specifically because of the fact that that way they could have gotten into their Magneton still. Like, they didn't have to give it up so early, even though it was in the discard pile. I think relying on the, like, Super Rod to put it back just takes way too long. They needed to do that, like, much, much sooner. Leaving it to have no bench space by putting the Raichu down, like, it gets you the KO, but it costs you everything to get there. So it wasn't as efficient anyway. But yeah, that's going to be game number 1, and we'll jump into game number 2 in a second, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 2. Our opponent won the coin flip and is going to be going first. We open Iron Bundle, which is not very optimal. Our opponent mulligans. We see Dark Energy, Backup, and Energy Switch. Is it just regular Ancient Box? Okay, we see Iron Thorns EX. That's pretty annoying. Curious what the Dark Energy is for, though. We'll go ahead and discard this. Grab ourselves 2 more energy. We'll play the Canceling Cologne, which is pretty nice that we were able to draw that. Obviously, that's why we play it. For that exact moment right there. Wow, this is a terrible hand. You are joking. So we'll go PokéStop. Thank God. We got a little bit bailed out there. Go Nest Ball. Grab ourselves a Squawkabilly. This person's emoting is pretty annoying. Not sure if there's a way to mute that, but I hope there is. I guess we'll grab Radiant Greninja just to try to get as much out of this turn as possible. Then we'll play one more Charcadet down. It's mostly due to the fact that there's not much else we can do. And I want to get as much value out of these cards as possible. Go ahead and Concealed. That's about it for our turn that we're going to be able to do, but we will have another Carmine for the following turn. Artisan. Still curious what the Dark Energy's for. Okay, seeing the Mimikyu is annoying. Okay. We get Ceruledge, that's pretty nice. I don't actually want to go Carmine here. I think it's better just to go Judge in this scenario, because I'm just looking for any one energy. Play this down, PokéStop. Okay, I wanted those jet energies, but that's fine too. Well, I guess we pass. I can research on the next point. I just didn't want to get rid of the boss's orders because I am going to need that. I really just need like one energy to retreat the Iron Bundle out. You get the counter catcher, that's not that big of a deal. We do see them lose out on one of the penny. Plus Vacuum gets rid of the PokéStop, don't really care that much about that. The whole goal from this point is that I knock out the Iron Thorns, and then I can just hold a Canceling Cologne. So we retreat this out. This is going to be our way around the Mimikyu temporarily. Okay, cool. So I have the Canceling Cologne. I will go Abyssal Flames here to do just enough to two-shot this. Well, you know, more than enough to two-shot it. I just hold on to my hand at this point. Because the goal at this point is that I knock out the Iron Thorns. If they bring in the Mimikyu, it doesn't really matter. I'll just go Canceling Cologne and knock out the Mimikyu after the fact. Provided we don't get Eeried. And if they do nothing, like if they don't put anything on the bench, we do win. Perfect. So we will drop the Canceling Cologne, and then we'll Jet Energy, bring this in, and go Abyssal Flame. Perfect. So we are able to win game 2, even against a kind of odd stall deck and kind of control deck. This is why Canceling Cologne is super broken. If your deck is strong in everything, but like struggles with stall, like this deck can kind of struggle with, Iron Thorns is a huge pain in this deck side because of the fact that you do like utilize Greninja so much, and you need that Squawkabilly starting turn like open and things like that. So You can definitely struggle if you're up into control matchups with this deck specifically, and so that's why it does run 2 copies of Canceling Cologne. Honestly, with this deck, you could even run it, you can put it to 3 if you wanted to, but once you have them, like, as long as you're not just wasting them, it really, really helps this deck out a lot. So definitely don't cut the Canceling Colognes. If anything, consider running 3. I think 2 is fine and, like, kind of the perfect number, but you could run 3 if you want. But yeah, that's going to be game number 2, and I will jump into game number 3 in just a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3, and we're going to be going first. We'll see what our hand looks like. It's not really optimal, but maybe we'll get lucky with the PokéStop. We'll see what happens here. We see Brute Bonnet. Doesn't really tell us too much. We did get lucky with the top deck, though, of the Nest Ball, so that we'll be able to grab ourselves the Squawkabilly. We'll throw down the PokéStop for now. Go ahead and Squawk. Wow, this is not very good. We'll go ahead and Nest Ball for a Greninja to get ourselves a couple more cards. We'll go Concealed. Get rid of a Fire Energy. Draw ourselves a little bit more. We will keep this. We'll go ahead and play 1 energy down. We got lucky enough that we got to go into Carmine. Again, none of this is exactly what we want, but it is okay. We do get another Nest Ball. We'll play that down. Grab ourselves 1 more Charcadet, so that way we have that for future turns in the event if our current one gets knocked out, which is possible. So in, like, a weird way, like, we kept getting bad hands out of this, but, like, with 1 card in each that kind of helped us reset and get through to what we actually wanted. So overall, not bad. Like, it kind of worked out in the end. We'll see. We know they have Petrunt in hand. Nest Ball for what? Roaring Moon? Oh, Rotom. Wonder why I Rotom. Because if it's like Roaring Moon, you typically wouldn't play Rotom in it. Obviously, they'll go Sealstone here. Ooh, the Trolley. Man, what a broken card. Wonder what they'll go for here. Because we have access to the Hyper Blower, depending on what they put here. We also have access to the Pokemon Catcher. They went Sealstone, which means they can't switch yet, nor because they don't have the Ancient Booster Capsule either. So that's going to be a problem for them. Town Store will get them Ancient Booster Capsule, but they won't have a way to switch. I think the play for next turn is to go Pokemon Catcher. Oh, I'm dumb. Right. Petrunt can switch them out. Okay, so we will lose out on the Charcadet here. But that's fine. We can bring a new one in. I think we want to go Pokemon Catcher. Attempt to knock this out, because they're going to need that. I think that's going to be our play. Even more so if we can get ourselves into a Judge, just to reset their hands. We'll go ahead and concealed cards here, see if we can get into what we were looking for. We didn't, but we can go PokéStop, that's fine. We'll drop the research, because we just need to dig. We do have boss as well as double Ultra Ball. We can get rid of one of the Ultra Balls for Earthen Vessel, get ourselves to more energy, then go Earthen Vessel, discard the energy, grab 2, check our deck. We have 1 Ceruledge available, which is not really what we wanted to see. Get rid of 2 more energy. Grab ourselves the Ceruledge. Evolve that. And then from here, we'll go ahead and use the Abyssal Flames, knock this out. Grabbing 2 prizes, hoping to find 1 more Ceruledge. We were able to, which means we just need to set up 1 more Charcadet and we'll be good to go, because we can boss up the Rotom V on the following turn. Or even knocking out the Brute Bonnet would be fine. Just Fezandipiti. Problem we'll run into is if they can make Conkeldurr. I think Conkeldurr hits for what, 250? So then 250 plus the poison damage and the Radiant Sneasler is going to be pretty bad for us. Yeah, there's Conkeldurr for 250. They don't get the rare candy off the PokéStop, so I'm curious to see if they have it, because I feel like they would have played it. They have to have it, because they're like investing into this, right? There's the Iono. There's no shot they get it here, right? Like, they couldn't have added Conkeldurr to hand when Iono shuffled the Conkeldurr to the bottom and ended up with rare candy Conkeldurr all over again. So I think they just dropped the poison damage here. Which is fine by me. Because, like, we'll take some poison damage here, but if we're able to knock this out, we don't really have too much to worry about. Even going Judge would be pretty nice. Just to, again, like, reset their hand. Alright, that was the number one thing we wanted, was just a Charcadet to reset that up. To be honest, I don't think Judge matters here. I think we just want to dig, because they're going to be able to redraw with Fezandipiti anyway. And as long as we're knocking this out, we don't really have anything to worry about. Like, the stacking poison damage is annoying for sure. But as long as we're taking a knockout a turn, we're fine. Alright, and there's the boss's orders. So really, we only need one more single prize knockout, regardless of how we get it. And without the ability to go into Conkeldurr, we should be totally fine. That was close, though. Had they been able to hit the rare candy, we definitely would have been in a rough position. The most we can take is 100 damage if they bring in the Petron, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll live no matter what. We can set ourselves up with a new Ceruledge after. I think the main play is that we boss his orders the Petron again. They go Luminion. I wonder for what. would they want to grab at this point? Because the Arven doesn't do much for them, right? I feel like that's game. Them not getting into Conkeldurr is what, like, lost them the game. Like, Conkeldurr's super good. Like, I really like this card a lot. But you have to, like, kind of commit to it. I think going Trolley, like, hurt them because they didn't go, like, double Tembor. Or they should have gone one sooner. I think that was, like, their biggest problem. Like, had they set up the Conkeldurr sooner, they would have been in a way better position. But not doing it and, like, allowing it to just be Tembor and then relying on finding both pieces, the Rare Candy and the Conkeldurr on the same turn, was, like, a little rough. Granted, they could probably do it, but I feel like with this deck, because they're only playing it probably as, like, a 2-2 line, it probably only has, like, 2 rare candies or 1 rare candy in the deck, which is super inconsistent. And if that's the case, I feel like you just want to play like a 2-1-2 line maybe, just so that way you don't, like, you're not forced into needing to find the rare candy. But yeah, that's going to be game number 3, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Definitely check out this deck. It's a ton of fun. It's very, very powerful. So be sure to try it out for yourselves. Like I said, it's down in the description below, as well as a link to the community Discord. So if you like the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It really helps out the channel and the video and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video, because I, love to make things in general, but especially if there's something that I know you guys want to see, I can get to that first. But yeah, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.